Okay, so this is a response. Let me start from here. Comment actually video I did concerning uh engine ECU, what engine ECU can do to some cars, like high fuel consumption, especially in portfolios. I think I responded to someone's question. So this is from Emmanuel Ndamati. So let me start from here. He says, "Hello, Long King Monk. Trust you are doing very well. Please, I have the same issue in my just purchased 406 with EW7J4 6FZ engine. Although I went with a mechanic, but obviously not as skilled and detailed as you. It came with two different keys and they all start the vehicle. When I took the vehicle to an electrician, I was told to get an aftermarket remote entry system. Your explanations have got me going as to where the problems are stemming from. As I speak with you right now, the AC compressor coil is burnt, only for me to discover that the electrician used a speaker wire for the connection of the compressor, bypassed a lot of things. He even said the BSI refused working with the doors, and that led me to buying two new front door key locks, which also did not operate well, and that brought about the suggestion for aftermarket remote. Your explanation here gives an idea of the root cause. ECU. Engine and transmission are good but idles roughly. The fan has been abused. Your videos about the fan suggest the fan is not the one for the 406. It was abused long time ago. I asked him to return it back to factory, or at least to state where it could work, to a state where it could work with the with the coolant temperature, thereby steaming to optimal operating temperature before coming on. But he said the system is fine the way it is. I would have been less worried about the operating temperature, but the thermostat has been yanked out. We argued and it was becoming a quarrel, so I asked him to put the vehicle back so it can drive it home. A lot to be said, but I wish I had come across your videos before buying, because I've been an ardent fan of the Lion brand and just privileged to own my first. Thanks for all your videos. I want to even look for a manual where I can learn about the electrical system of this brand, because I don't dey fear say I don shoot myself for leg and professional help no dey in sight, at least not for nearest 200 kilometers. I'll make a video about my experiences and post on here. Thank you, sir. There's a follow-up on this, but let me address this one first. Okay, so where do I even start? So it says, see, I had to keep this this thing on, otherwise I would have cut it off the internet. That's why you are getting this notification. I hope nobody calls me, so it doesn't cut this. Number one, the first thing you did that was that started this whole drama is going to buy a car with just a local mechanic. You know, I mentioned it in the last video, if I'm not mistaken, or one of the recent videos I did concerning buying used Nigerian vehicle. Don't bother going with a mechanic. It's pointless. Don't bother. When I mean mechanic, I know just the normal local mechanics. I don't have any problem with them. I work with them. Of course, you guys see the video I publish, I work with them. And when it comes to buying cars, no, modern cars, if it's 504, 505, I mean, you need them. In fact, personally, what you need in a 504 or 505 is even the panel beater. Trust me. If you want to buy 504, 404, 505 today, go with the panel beater. Don't even bother so much about your engine. I don't care about how clean, how good the engine is, or as they claim. Most likely you are going to rebuild that engine. So don't waste your time trying to find out whether the engine is good. Don't worry about the engine, because the parts to rebuild it, they are easily available. So you can rebuild it and serve you for a long time. It's not like the modern engine that parts are not even available for a full engine rebuild. These other cars or classic or project cars, they are everything, crankshaft, engine block, everything you want, they are available, new one. Cylinder head, new one. That's what you understand. Okay, meanwhile, so that was a mistake you made. For modern project car, what you need is an expert that have understanding of electrical system. That should be your word. You can see almost everything you said here is electrical. That's what you need. Don't say you should go and buy the one the engine is dead, but you are better off buying one that engine is dead than buying one that electrical is bad. So because if engine is weak, all you need is you will start and move. Yeah, it will have power, it will consuming oil, it will be making noise, weak noise, and so in that case, you'll be like, okay, fine. Maybe it can still serve me 2-3 months. I can be able to save up, replace the engine and forget about it, or rebuild it if you can. But sometimes all this modern engine, depending on the extent of the damage, if it's just minor wear inside the engine, you can rebuild it by partial rebuild. That's what they usually do. Change the rings, pasting, no rings where pieces where is cylinder is engine block. So it's just partial. All this modern, what we do is partial rebuild, not full rebuild. So like I said, you can rebuild or replace. But once electric, I can see what you are going to so far. So that was a mistake you made. Otherwise, if you want to go with 3 um, technicians: 1 mechanic, 2 electrician, 3 panel beater. Yeah, body is very, very important. Body is very important on all cars, not just modern or older Peugeot cars. Body is important. If body is a mess, trust me, if you like, put new engine and put. Change all the electrical system on that vehicle. If your body is a mess, you will never enjoy that car. Because there are some accidental cars that they will do in such a way that you may not see it after some months. Those places you had accident to start to show it themselves. I mean, you don't want, not everybody want to buy a car that probably had a severe accident and they cut it into half, put another one, weld them together. You may not like that kind of thing. So as I say, you need a panel beater. There are some they will do it so good that you may not even know. Even the panel beater may be hard for him to dictate that. But like I said, he at least, if not for anything, he has a better eye than you do. I think he has that technical eye. So those of us are into that as well. So there are things where we will check, where they usually do all those kind of stuff. You look at those things, see if you can dictate, or even drive the way the car, as you drive the car, the way it moves, or you observe from outside, can tell if there is a chassis issue. Anyway, so that was the first mistake you made, but you made that, you have to live with that. You said aftermarket remote that asked you to introduce aftermarket remote. See, 406 right now. Um, I'm here to find a good alternative for remote control. I'm talking about aside the factory design. I'm here to find an aftermarket one that is a better alternative. What I mean a better alternative, I mean the remote control you can program and for it to work with the car BSI unit. I'm yet to find one. Hopefully someday I will. So I don't need to do any form of bypass. You see how those ones they buy, those universal one they will bring, and you bypass the BSI control, the remote control connection to the BSI, you bypass it and connect it to those module that comes with some of those aftermarket, those universal ones. Yeah, if you, those ones are nonsense. Just don't even waste your money. You rather keep working your door manually. Don't waste your money on those ones. All the ones I've seen or used so far in other people's car, I'll tell you they are useless. You press the remote, one door will lock, the other one will open. You press this one, it will lock and unlock by. See, it's just a mess. Don't bother with that thing. If you like don't go ahead and do it. It's none of my business. But you can tell everybody that brought their vehicle to me, or I purchased their car and they came with that nonsense. I'll usually reverse it, put it back to factory. Unless the person say, hey, leave it as it is. The reason why I always ask for that is because so far there is no remote control factory one that are easily available. I don't even know that if they are even still in the market. Most of them I buy, they won't work. They can start the car, but the remote control will not work. So that's why even me, I've stopped buying them. But I'm not saying you shouldn't try. But some of the aftermarket you can use in 307, 407, and 607 and the rest. You don't need to do they work with the BSI in that if it's factory remote control. So that's what I mean by after a better aftermarket for 406. So I don't have yet. I've not located one yet or seen one yet that works that well, like in other Peugeot cars. So, but those ones that the universal ones, no, I'll stay away from them. Because all this is all about start bypassing. Because you have to bypass something on the BSI. I know where they do those bypasses, so he mentioned a lot of things. He said AC compressor was burnt. The AC coil compressor, the coil on the compressor. I'm kind of very tired now, so I'm trying to go through this. I'm not being articulative now, so or I'm not articulating what I'm saying very well. It said your BSI unit has even refused to work with the doors. It said that from my explanation on my videos, he said the problem is ECU. What you describe here, I don't think he has. I believe what he meant is engine ECU. What you have described here has nothing to do with engine ECU so far. All this is we mentioned, all this abuse is done on the car. You said the fan, engine cooling fan has been bypassed. Radiator, no, thermostat, the mechanical, thrown away, removed. See, you seems to be more concerned with modules, electronic modules. Like if they are the problem, you'll be surprised that your problem will likely be the wires, not even these modules you are talking about. I'm not saying, yeah, most likely some of the wrong wiring connection done on the car probably has burnt one or two things. So even if you start replacing some of these modules or components like the ECUs or this or that, the compressor coil, they might still fail again if the wrong connections are still there and have not been reversed. So your concern should be the wiring system in that car. That's where they've done from all these symptoms you describe, it seems that's your headache, or is what is disturbing the car most than other issues, or the components like modules. So, as for what your electrician said, there's nothing wrong with your fan. That is okay as it is. You shouldn't be going to such people to seek an opinion. What's your business with them? I don't blame them. I know people might be saying they're supposed to know more. No, forget it. If you are a pragmatic person, you will know. When you look at someone, I mean, this is the level the person operates. How do you expect it to know more? So don't bother going to such people. I don't know, you have to be willing to spend. Either you do it yourself or you take the car to someone that can restore that car. Spend whatever you have to bring it back in shape. If it's too beyond your distance, well, you start looking for another one. Like I said, sometimes it's good for people to get burnt. You go through that pain when you make a big mistake in this kind of thing. Everything it can be, yeah, I don't know the extent of damage. It can be reversed, but some will even use it like that. Say, well, you know what? Let me keep it. Just like when people say, 406, you can't come out as one of the people that drive 406 because you are not enjoying it. See, whatever you think you're enjoying now, you haven't even started. 406, that's why people say it's an indestructible car. But with all this bypass headache that is surrounding full everywhere in your own car, how do you can't count yourself as somebody who drives 406. Because people that drive 406, come on, before they encounter issues or breakdown in their car. Man, no, it's not like that now. 406 is like, I don't know, I just tell people it's like a softer 504. So you haven't started enjoying 406 yet with all these things you mentioned. So I think let me stop it. Let me check the other one. There's another person. So here he said mine doesn't have black smoke, though but fuel consumption seems a bit off but still manageable. I would love to know how much the complete fan and wiring harness cost, as well as the thermostat, so I can budget for it. Thank you. He said your car doesn't emit black smoke. But consumption is still a little bit higher than you. And you don't know. See, this is your first driving experience. If I look at, I can't say more. You said your first car or your first Peugeot car. Don't know. That's the way you said it, as if this is your first time of buying a car or owning a car, or your first Peugeot experience. That meaning first time of buying a Peugeot car or owning a Peugeot car. So in that case, if it's truly this your first car experience, then you probably that the fuel consumption is okay. But you see, assume that it's too high. Or it's possible that it's way too high, but to you assume that it's okay because you don't have any experience to compare what you're experiencing. That's what I mean, old experience, to compare the current experience with the car, to know if the consumption is higher than it should. So I don't know anyway. I'm just just judging what because of what you posted. So because truly with all this you said the car engine is okay, but it idles roughly. There's no way your consumption will be okay if engine of idles. So how are you sure your ECE is good? Just because the car can start and move doesn't mean the ECE is good. You need the expert to be able to check the vehicle, check the ECU, diagnose the ECU to know. Sometimes even me, I won't even diagnose it. There's a way I look at the ECU, I'll tell you, maybe this ECU. I would say confirm that this ECU is bad, but I can look at it and say, oh, they repaired this ECU, or they've done this one is the one they call free code, or I put a scan. It's not up to you yet. You haven't gathered that knowledge enough to be able to say though you mention your ECU is bad, but all the every other thing you are talking about, your AC compressor, your fan, your these things, I don't think it has anything to do with your ECU. ECU can affect the fan or stop it from working, or can make the fan, even when you try to reverse it, it will not reverse. It will still be behaving the same way as if you stay bypassed, even though it has been reversed back to factory. ECU do that. Apparently, most of the electrical issue you mentioned have nothing to do with the engine, except the way I mentioned rough idle. So in that case, yeah, um, that's the only place you could relate to engine ECU. But every other thing has nothing to do with engine ECU. Even your BSI, nothing to do with engine ECU. They work together, but he said, I would love to know how much the complete fan and wiring harness cost, as well as the thermostat. See, let me tell you, when it comes to 406, well, it depends on where you stay. The problem with the fan wiring harness, because 406 has three, let's just say D9. Let's start with D9. So I don't want to go for mention D8. D8 is a separate wiring system. So let's start with D9. The D9 406 has one, two, three. I think three different engine wiring harnesses. Three different ones. Talking of D9, not D8. Three different wiring harnesses. What I mean is they are not the same at all. The connections, they are not. So I wouldn't know. There is the SU engines in D9. They have their own different wiring harness, which is similar to that of the V6. Yeah, they are similar. The EW10, that's 4-cylinder, petrol 4-cylinder D9, at least 99 to 2001, if I'm not mistaken. Or let's just say 99 to 2000, maybe 2001, but let's just say 99 2000, 4-cylinder. Their wiring harness, fan wiring harness is different from 2002 to 2008, or whenever it stopped. So I don't know which one is yours. He said EW7J4. I don't know which year they produce. So it all depends on the year and the engine model. So none of them is easily available. None of these three harnesses, none is easily available, at least here in Abuja. Why? Reason why they are not easily available is because, remember, you only get them from scrap cars. They don't come in like used. They don't bring them in like they do with used engine, gearboxes, or suspension component, braking system. No, other electronic components. No, they don't bring in wiring harnesses like that, especially for fan. So you get them from here. Cars that they've had accidents or scrapped. Don't just say from scrap cars. Now imagine in Nigeria, before they scrap a car in Nigeria, before they scrap a car in Nigeria, you know that the car, unless maybe the car had one kind of severe accident, but how many now? I don't have the statistics, but I can tell you that there are more cars that are scrapped. Average cars that are scrapped in Nigeria, you get more are not accidented ones. That what I mean, the one that had how do I try to look for this word? They can't be repaired. The body has gone beyond repairable. So decide to scrap the vehicle. If not, people that drive car till dies and fell off completely before they scrap the vehicle. Or the cars, most times people scrap car not because of mechanicals. You know that. Talking about modern cars. They scrap it because they've done everything to make the car work. It refuse to work. And modern cars, what will make a car they refuse to work? It's not mechanic, it's not engine. No matter how bad the engine is, as long as I can still start, can still drive it. Worst case, if engine is bad, you park the car, few months later, you make money, but replace. Usually the electric car, you keep driving, keep towing it from one workshop to another, keep trying, keep spending money, keep blowing ECU, keep blowing this, you get a point. As they are trying to fix it, they are introducing more problem, complicating it, you get a point. The car may even go into flames and burn to ashes. Or you'll be like, you know what, I'm done, please. And nobody may want to buy it off your hand. After some while, you'll be like, you know what, scrap it. If it's that will solve my problem, let it go. I'm not saying there's never a case where somebody scrap a car because of mechanical issues or body issues. Of course, body, that's why I say like accidental. There are some cars that the body has been panebitated out of shape, so the best option is to scrap. Or the rust. Modern cars now, they don't rust like compared to 5045. So I don't want to go to that angle. It's the 5045 that they scrap because of rust most times. You know, you park a car after 10 years, 20 years, you go back to it. Man, the rust has eaten up the car completely. Not this modern car, they don't rust like that. So you can always sell them, no matter how cheap, even if engine and gearbox are dead. Yeah, all you need is put it out in the market. Someone will come and buy it, no matter how small. Sometimes they might still scrap it, even though the body is still good, electrical, good, but they want to scrap because probably the person that purchased is a past seller. So you assume that you make more money scrapping it. But like, what I'm saying is, it's just the cars that are being scrapped, majority of them are because of issues, not necessarily accident because he had accident. It's just electric car mostly these days, not back in the days, you know, the 90s, 80s. So I don't know that why I'm telling all this is getting that harness is where you have a problem. That's the truth. Plus, look at all the videos I've done trying to reverse farm for people. Especially for 406. I've done like two. If not, if I'm not recall. Getting a wire took weeks. There was one that took, I don't even know. Eventually, the one I gave the, as asked one electrician, oh, go and look for, I didn't have time anymore. I called everybody, went to a few places. They didn't have, you know what? I gave it out. See if you can find it. Paid the person, paid the transport. He went, sigh. Eventually he came. The way he came with, I looked at the one that was in the car. I looked at it. I couldn't tell the one that was in better condition. They've also butchered it and everything. I was like, you know what? Don't worry. I had to now be the one. In what I eventually did, because they were so bad that it took a while. I said, leave it there. Left the car there for, if not days or weeks, until now I got a car that has the same wireless system. Because they push out the wires to the point that what's it called, the numbers engraved on the wires, because I have the wiring schematics for the 406 for fan at least. So where the numbers are engraved, no, not all of it. I think it's for the two of the system, or one that I have. There's one particular one I don't have for D9. So I now had to get a donor car. From the donor car, I started reading. It took almost one full day. I got it right. So the wires he bought was basically a waste of money. The last one I did, I didn't even bother. to even look for it. It was a waste of time because, like I said, if you go to market, you will see them. But because I say Nigerian used cars, 90% of the time they will must have messed up the wire. So what are you buying? You are buying headache. So to see one that they have not touched, man, it's like winning a lottery. So the idea of buying wiring harness, I probably wouldn't. If I were you, just forget that one. It's possible you could get it, but I wouldn't bother. If I were the one to repair the car, I wouldn't even bother. I will charge you high. Without reverse it, I will. I will give you condition to take time, so no pressure on that. Because it's electrical, so I'm not going to, don't, if you, I won't take it for if you don't watch me to go and, no. Because if any wrong connection I will do there, it's going to blow your engine ECU. It will blow it, damage it. So since it's my responsibility to prevent that from happening, I will take my time. Because most times, like I said, the way they push out the wiring schematics will become useless. So I'll do it in such a way that, fine, I'll take my time. Study the condition of the wires, look at the schematics to see if I can figure out, even if the numbers are no longer there. Or wait till I get a donor card. Now take my time, do it confirmed, check everything, do this before I now go and put battery and switch on ignition. Why I'm explaining all this is to prevent people who tomorrow who have intention to go and give somebody to bypass, because you might introduce this problem and you have to live with it. The fan 4-6 fan is depending on the model grade. You're looking about most 30,000 naira. Used one, I don't know about new one. You say EW engine, yeah. I don't know how much. The new one might be in the market. I don't know the price. I'm talking about used ones. So between 20 to 30, depending on the grade and the rest. Last time I checked or I purchased, so don't quote me today, because I might go to market tomorrow, get something different. You know how things are in Nigeria market today. Thermostat. Last time I bought new thermostat for EW engines, specifically EW7, which is the same thing with EW10J4. That's EW7J4 and EW10J4. That was was it 10 or 15? I think 15,000 naira or so. But it wasn't this year. It wasn't last year. Was it last year? I think about. So basically, you have to be used one. You go where they sell used engines, like falling used, the one we call Tokumbo. Buy one. You go and test it. I've done video of how to test thermostat. You can also check online. I found other people that have described how to do that. So you test it, confirm it's working before you put it, since it's used one. So if it's new one, of course, it's expected that it will work without bothering to test it. So I just want to mention something before I close. Now, I've done few videos where I mentioned there's a safer way to bypass fan. There's a safer way of bypassing fan wiring, the factory wiring connection. Still introduce a thermostat to control it, not by running it to run constantly with ignition or engine run, no. It will still work as if it's factory. So all I need to do later, I will just probably do, I don't know, the thermostat that a universal thermostat that you can use for that. I don't have it yet. I think I've done a video where I posted a link where I can get it. It's on AliExpress. Can easily get it. So that's how you can do that. So yes, in that way you could say it's bypassed, but is it abuse? Depending on how you do the connection. Because you could do it in such a way, like I said, it will still work like factory. The only difference now is your ECU will be saying it's no longer accessing your fan or controlling your fan. But you now introduce something else to go. The reason why I use those ones, that particular thermostat, is, let's assume your automatic gearbox doesn't tolerate high coolant temperature anymore. Yeah, you can use that particular thermostat to reduce the optimal engine temperature, bring it down a little, which is not good for that. It's not the ideal temperature for the engine. So in other words, to protect your to make your gearbox operate better, you sacrifice your engine lifespan a little. So it won't fail immediately, but lowering the temperature a little means probably shorten the life just a little, and a little bit fuel increase, just a little. It all depends on temp. You have the option to use whatever temperature you want the fan to start spinning. You can set it there. So that's why it's a very good alternative. I've done video on this. I don't know the year. I can't remember the year. Go to, you find it. I don't think I've covered a lot of. I know the video it took long, but you know. So let it be a warning for other people that will go and make the same mistake you make. And if you have made the mistake already, maybe you must have learned one or two from this video. Don't get me wrong, there are people that will still risk it and they will end up buying a very clean, non-abused, used vehicle. So, of course, there will always be an exception. So, which some will say, oh, the person is lucky to use that word. So, it happens. So, it doesn't mean that once you go and buy a car by yourself, it's going to be a problem. No, because you lack the knowledge to detect good one. But there's there's always a chance that you end up with a bad one. So, can it be fixed? It depends on you. Okay, so like this video, subscribe to the channel. Then if you want something like this, you can post your question here. You can see how long it took me to explain all these things. Even though some will complain that my video is too long, this and that, please ignore those kind of people. If you want a short one, then you pay. You contact me privately, we'll talk. If you even want 5 hours, so I have the time, we'll talk. You pay, we'll talk. I explain everything I need to explain. It won't come up here. Nobody will know our discussion or what we did. Unless you now say, permit me to share with other people. Why not? Okay, so we'll see in the next video. All right.